what I really liked is that you kept this music going. It's very easy for this. I mean, even with
It's really hard to keep
yeah,
going.
it can just get quite a bit slower, more lugubrious, but you really had a nice sense of, I think, moving through things. Now, let's see if we can refine what we're seeing here. Anything from the peanut gallery of conductors out here?
Bring it on! Bring it on!
Have to be, you know, it doesn't have to be a criticism. It can be something good too. So you have nothing good to say about this nice man.
I think that he seemed to have the musicality of it, and he was projecting that out. That's what I got.
Yeah, I get the impression you feel rather strongly about this piece.
Yeah, it's a beautiful piece.
Yeah.
I've played tuba in it, I think.
Yeah, play too good.
No, a different movement.
Oh, okay.
This is tacit. If I remember
I was
right.
worried there for a minute. Okay, now, the first thing is, when you want to make a long phrase to this side of the orchestra, okay, you are folding your stick in. You're literally, let me show you for 1 second. You're going 1, 2,
Okay.
and there's never a chance to make a long line that way. You're actually killing that if you try to do that. So if you want to use your right hand to conduct this side of the orchestra, make sure that you're extended a bit so it doesn't fold in this way and actually work against what you're trying to do. And another thing you might think about is conducting this way. All right? In other words, with this hand instead of your right hand. Now, the other question is just a general one. How would you describe the opening of this movement, the opening of this piece? Let's say from rehearsal 1 to rehearsal, from the beginning to rehearsal 1.
I don't see rehearsal 1. But,
So
okay.
it's on the second page.
Oh, okay. Well, at the beginning, it's just from nothing to just a little bit of sound, and then the singing comes in. And it's basically a violin solo that switches over to cello.
Section solo, okay. If you were going to find an adjective to describe it, what would it be?
Serene and beautiful.
Serene, beautiful, serene, and soulful.
Soulful.
Do you know the story behind this movement?
No.
Mahler was in Lucerne writing this symphony. And he was having this affair with Alma Schindler.
Yeah.
Any relation?
Yes, as a matter of fact.
Really?
Yeah, and I'm shameless about that. And he wrote this movement in a piano score. Why am I looking at you when I'm saying this? I'm a merciless flirt. He wrote this piece in a piano score and with nothing else mailed it to Alma, who came rushing to Lake Lucerne because she knew that this was a love letter from Gostav to her.
And she couldn't read.
Hmm?
And she couldn't read.
She needed to.
Right, that's why he put the notes over every single thing. So yes, it's a love song. It's soulful. It's serene. All of those things. Now, what happens on page 2? The second page after rehearsal 1. Things get a little bit more hot and heavy.
Yeah.
Okay. They don't get quite as hot and heavy as they do a little bit later on, but they're certainly getting a little bit more raptured or enraptured or something. Does this say something to you as a conductor and interpreter of this piece as to what your body language should be from one section of this to the next? In a nutshell, the reason I went through all this is to tell you that I think you're too active physically at the very beginning of it. Save it until the music begins to get more.
Right, when it gets a little more intense, bring it out, and then in the beginning keep it more mellow.
Precisely.
My problem is that I can't really feel where I have to play. More than just where the beats have to come, but so that there's always the right moment that a note has to come,
Where it
and I
comes, right.
don't feel free with that yet.
Okay. Try from the nicht schleppen, please, which, oh, I'm sorry,
Okay,
we'll give you
okay,
one
okay.
second. 6, 7, 8, what is that, 9, 10, something? Sorry.
One of the problems I have has to do with Jeff telling you you're taking your stick clear over to that side. I can't tell where the beat changes then because you're hiding it. And if I
Okay.
were really sitting out here, like in an orchestra,
Mhm.
cellos and basses would be completely at sea every time you're over
Right,
that way.
sometimes they're all the way over here, yeah, okay.
It's a hard place to see from, is.
Yeah,
And
it is,
it's
yeah.
also, let me say this too, since we're behind closed doors, I've spoken about Frederick's, physicality too.
Yeah.
This is a big piece of material to be seen, to be watching through. If you hide the stick on that side,
Right,
it's hard for people to know what the focus of the beat should be and what the
Right.
focus of expression is. So
So
in your
keep it
case,
more
as much as
towards
it, exactly,
here,
exactly. Once
Okay.
again, please. Wherever I said, nicht schleppen. Thank you.
yes.
Yeah, that's, see again, 1, 2, you fold it in. It's
Right.
1, 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
One second, I'm going to ask a question to the orchestra. If you had never heard this piece before, and this was a world premiere, what would be happening from bar 11 and 12 onward? How would you play? What did you hear what was happening? It's one of those things that conductors let get by all the time. It's just a natural tendency. It's sempre pianissimo, actually. Second solo cello is sempre pianissimo. It never gets louder than that until the crescendo side. And you'll always find...
Yeah, well, I was giving them bigger than that, I mean, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
you don't, that's this big singing line. No, it's
Yeah.
sempre pianissimo.
Okay, yeah.
Good. Now, also, no, there's confusing stuff in the second violin. One.
Yeah, I didn't cue it, that was my fault.
Yeah, but there's also a crescendo and then another crescendo, which in this style of music means one. Drop back to the piano, okay?
Mhm.
So we get, I think, closer to what the composer wants. And I love that 16th rest. Anyway, I'm talking too much. But go from wieder aus erst langsam. I'd love to see what you're going to do with that now.
Okay.
Okay, then we have to stop, unfortunately.